Hello everyone, this is my second video of the Prusa build, and I had forgotten to put something on the triangles, and it was this part right here. It's the for the X or the Z axis, the bottom stabilizer for the rods on both sides. So all you do is use 2 more nuts on each side, 2 more washers, and put it close to the center, because it's going to have to line up with this top. Okay, so that's done. I just have these rods slid into it right now just to hold it up, just so you can see. And these rods are ready. I've got nuts on the insides and washers on the insides. Thing you need to remember too is always put a washer against the plastic. That way when you turn a nut, it's not going to tear up the plastic. It's going to mesh against the washer instead of the plastic. And here's the front part for the Y-axis motor. Goes like this. Motor mounts here, and the gear will be like that. So there's plenty of room for the belt and the gear to connect against. And I omitted one nut here, as the instructions call out a nut there, but it takes up too much room. The gear doesn't have enough room to get into the belt. So I omitted that nut, brought it closer into the belt. That way it's a good build. And this does pop off. It's got slots, so if you ever have to do anything with that, you can just pop this off instead of taking a whole Prusa apart. So you got a clamp, washers on each side, nuts on each side. You have your bearing with a washer inside, small washer. And the reason for that is so the outside race of the bearing does not touch the washers on the large area washer. So you want to make sure you put washers inside on each side of that bearing. Then your large area washers, I put a small washer there and a small washer there to hold on each side of the plastic as well. Nut here, no small washer. Same thing here, you put washers, nuts, and then a nut, washer. This will go on the foot vertex, and this will also go on the foot vertex, nut and washer. So you have your whole setup there. Just put it together just like that, and you'll be ready to put it inside. The back is similarly set up. So you put your clamps, washers on each side, your bearing, small washers, large area washers, nuts on each side, clamp, same way, nut, washer, nut and washer. So this will be the back, this will be the front. So let's put this in. Now the reason this is so long, I'll show you that in a minute. But all of these are very long. That way it gives all this room, and you can mount a plastic, 1/4 inch plastic here, make it a triangular shape. That way you can mount your power supply, your ramps, all your electronics, and anything else you want to mount on this side. And it keeps the power supply from blowing air in here. You can also use a power supply fan to keep the ramps cool, or the electronics cool. So you got that there. And put this one back here. And then washers and a nut. You can leave this sticking out about a 1/4 inch on the end. where they look the same. So that's part of that. And now you have the rod that goes in here. One on the back, one on the front. Put a nut on each end. And a washer on each end. Same on the back, nut, each end, washer. And you don't have to snug anything up at this point. All you want to do is just get everything together. Washer, nut, same on the front. And again, get everything to look uniform. 1/4 inch sticking out. Washer. Nut. Washer here, and a nut here. Same back here. Okay, so now you have a fairly sturdy frame already. It goes together fairly quick. You got a washer, nut up here. Same on this end. you notice this is a clamp mechanism to hold this smooth rod in place, so you don't want to tighten that up yet either. And you're going to have to do adjustments for square, so you don't want to snug it up yet, or you don't want to tighten it up yet. So this much is together, and this will have enough room without hitting anything. That's one reason for the longer rods, the horizontal rods. And the other reason for these horizontal rods being that long, let me show you. Move the camera. So you can see right there, this is the reason. You can put it here. You can mount your power supply, all your electronics, cooling fan if you want to. You can even put holes in the plastic to run your wire through. Makes for a very nice job. Next thing we'll be doing is getting our Z-axis put together. Your X-axis, I'll go through that with you. And just to give you an idea, your stabilizer, your upper stabilizer, your lower base that holds your bearing for your longer Z-axis rod, and your X ends have a slot that you can put your opto sensor in instead of mounting it onto the rod, which makes it a really nice job. And that's what I'll be doing on the next, or this build. As you can see here, what I was talking about on that nut, I omitted it on the other one because it doesn't give you enough room right here to hold your belt. So eventually I'm going to change this out, take this nut out, and I'll have more room for this. This bed I built, and it's a heated bed. I built all the elements for it, but on the next one, or the yellow one that I'm building right now, I'm going to be using this heated bed here. It's very thin, and I'll be putting a piece of glass on it. That way if the hot end comes down too far, it's not going to damage this bed. It'll hit the glass. And then there's a spool, little rack on the spool that holds the spool in place. It's a good idea to mount this on top. That way it has a direct feed to your hot end, your extruder. Well, in the next video I'm going to show you the X and Z setup. I might have to make 2 videos for that, but we'll see. And I recommend getting these couplings, and I'll show you the websites and all that to where to get this stuff. I bought all this all thread and smooth rod locally, and you ought to be able to do the same thing. Well, thank you for watching. Look forward to the next video, video 3.